At that moment, we began to start off and branching off into other ventures. We started King & Sons Cleaning Company. We started King & Sons Transportation Services. I did everything. King & Sons Real Estate. King & Sons Handyman Services. We were doing a little bit of everything. I tell my clients today, I was not running a business. I was hustling. You must understand that there is a difference between running a legit company and hustling. What I want to help you do as your coach, I want to take you from hustling to running a company. So after a little time off hustling, we decided that it was time for us to officially run a company. COVID had hit America. We were all stuck in a house. I had to find a way that we were going to benefit off of the pandemic. While watching a sermon from my favorite pastor, Jamal Bryant, entitled, "I Feel Like Breaking Something." At that moment, I realized that I had to start Smash House KC. I called my business coach, as you will call me, and I say, put the plan together, find us a place, we have to pull this off immediately. And that we did. We opened up the first raised room in Kansas City, Missouri at the Hy-Vee Arena. We grossed $250,000 in our opening year. I thought that I had made it. I thought that this is what success felt like. I thought that this is what life will look like forever. But as I told you in the beginning, we do not build business to retire from them. We build them to sell. As our contract came to an end at the Hy-Vee Arena, the lease was too much for us to continue to go on. And so now, with a lot of money, with a lot of savings, I wanted to dive off into the restaurant industry. I started a restaurant called What's on Your Plate in Shawnee Mission, Kansas, inside of a bar. We became known for the best wings in the Kansas City metro area. On Wednesdays, people will line up outside the doors for our dollar wing special. People still to this day are asking for what's on your plate. The restaurant business was the hardest business I ever been in. Every other business that I ever had, our failure was predicated upon me. Mismanagement of money, lifestyle choices, young and dumb. But what's on your plate was something that was undefeated. It was the food costs. It was the overhead. It was the licensing and the permits. The restaurant industry is the hardest industry to break through in. You have to have a lot of savings. You have to have a lot of guts. In the midst of starting my restaurant in Kansas, I ended up growing that restaurant to 3 locations in Missouri, 1 food truck and 2 satellite locations. And 1 inside of a grocery store and 1 inside of another nightclub. But what's on your plate had to come to a terrible end as life tore me apart. Because in this journey, life does not stop. And so I had to take a break, a mental reset. I went home, I packed up my house, I put it all in storage, and I went on the road. And I had to figure out what would my life look like once I returned.